Hello, Leo. There are 3 hours and 33 minutes left on my card. I just noticed that on my camera. So 333 might be an important number for you. We're going to do your reading for the week of February 14th. So happy Valentine's to you. Hopefully you have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Not everybody's cup of tea, but you know. We also have a big moon, full moon, in your sign this week, Leo. So it could be a big week for you, particularly because that full moon is interacting with and activating the North and South Node. So it's got a twinge of eclipse energy to it. And could be an interesting moon for you. So depending on what house in your chart Leo falls in, you might see some interesting activations there for you. Let's see what's going on in your energy at this time. Knight of Cups. I like that. There's all this like pink and like pastel colors showing up for you here, and I'm not a huge fan of the color pink, but what this feels like to me, all these pinks and purples, it's like this healing heart energy feels like it's coming in for you. We have the 10 of Wands and the Queen of Swords. The 10 of Swords. Looks like that healing energy is needed after some endings here. And look at that. The Star is your center card. So a very healing energy showing up here. Knight of Swords. The Queen of Cups. The 5 of Cups. And the Page of Swords. Tons of communication coming in the future week here. It feels like to me there's some sort of offer of healing or offer of love showing up here after a very difficult ending. And it brings peace of mind, I feel like. And that healing theme kind of continues because I feel like it shifts your energy. I feel like what happens is it shifts you into this energy of gratitude the week of the 14th, which is an important shift, right? After grief, after pain. You know, the wounding itself still having an impact. It feels like someone comes in here with some love, some soothing offer, or apology even, or some kind of healing energy that allows you to make that shift into gratitude, where we start looking at the past and appreciating what we did have, what we did learn, even though it was hard, right? And I feel like it kind of helps you with this 5 of Cups, 10 of Swords energy. It kind of helps you to lay down a burden that you've been carrying for some time. Even if something ended a while ago, I feel like you've still been carrying that ending here. And it looks like we're kind of shifting into maybe laying that burden down and just allowing ourselves that healing that has maybe needed to happen for some time. And it does look like we've got some important communication here. It's kind of like we switch into this logical thinking with all these swords. Queen of Swords, Knight of Swords, Page of Swords. So there's a lot of conversation happening here. So let's see. Wheel of Fortune. I like that on the bottom of the deck. There's some sort of shift. King of Cups. So we have King and Queen of Cups showing up here. Some important love dynamic. A soulmate here. And there's moving into healing. 6 of Swords, Temperance. So I feel like this is happening and is allowing you to step into the new, allowing you to accept what has happened when that wheel of fortune turns, you know, sometimes we're at the bottom and sometimes we're at the top. And we just keep going kind of round and round and learning lessons, right? But there's some important shifts showing up for the week of the 14th that I feel like is really going to put you into the next steps, into moving on from something really difficult. So last week, the week of the 7th, we have quieting the mind. So there's definitely some sort of helpful offer, I feel like, showing up here that has probably been driving you crazy for a while. You can see this figure is sitting in the lotus position on top of a lotus, and you know, practicing mindfulness, quieting the mind. But I feel like there's maybe been some unanswered questions or some sort of nagging pain or something that has been happening for you, and I feel like this is peace of mind that's showing up for you. And it could very well be that this Queen of Cups could be dealing with a Cancer or Pisces water sign here that is bringing in this offer of love, this offer of peace, perhaps. Now, it doesn't have to be a water sign. It could just be that this person is presenting themselves in a very loving and calm way, right? Let's see. For the Knight of Cups, we have the Knight of Cups. Well, these both wanted to come out. King of Cups, Seven of Cups. Look at that. So someone here is coming forward to perhaps clear up some sort of emotional confusion, is what I feel like here. Perhaps opening up to their true feelings. And again, I feel like the intention behind it is to provide some healing. And again, we have the King and Queen of Cups. So this is a deeply loving connection. But there's been a problem that's happened between the two of you. There's been a very painful, perhaps even betrayal-filled ending that happened here. The Ten of Swords is something that's like stabbed in the back again and again and again and again until it's finally dead, right? So let's see, Ten of Swords. There you are, Leo, with the Strength card. And the Tower. So I do feel like this ending had a huge impact on your confidence. I feel like it was an intense test to your strength. And I want to get one more there. And I don't think it was an ending that you wanted to happen. It was definitely something that left you feeling disappointed and I want to say the word dejected. With the Queen of Cups, we have the Page of Wands and the Death card. For me, what this feels like is this person that has maybe been with that Page of Wands, we get the Four of Swords. So I feel like this person has maybe been in and out of your life since this ending has happened. Kind of this... I feel like there was a lot of confusion here as to whether the door was open with this person or it was closed with this person. I feel like that is coming to an end. I feel like there's more stability showing up here. There's peace, there's healing, there's also maybe even a little bit of flirting going on here. You know, trying to bring light to a situation that was very difficult. Like, it could be that the way in which the two of you are communicating is both... It's like this interesting mix of loving statements or declarations, and then also this lighthearted, flirty kind of approach. And so it's like, you know, because when we present this cup of love, it's a very deep proposition, right? And so it's like this careful dance between getting too deep too quickly. So it's kind of an interesting waltz that the two of you are doing, but I feel like what it's causing is that peace of mind, the settling down after a very difficult situation that you've been in together, right? This week we have gratitude. So it's kind of that sensation of stepping into, like, being able to look at a situation as, yes, this was hard, yes, this was painful, and yes, this has been a heavy burden with this 10 of Wands, but I'm ready to look at this in a positive manner. I'm ready to look at this and see the good things that came out of it. I'm ready to have gratitude for what I learned, without that heavy grief energy attached to it, right? And I'm really noticing the hands here. So it could very well be like these heart-to-heart conversations where the two of you are attempting to provide comfort for one another after having been through something so difficult. With the 10 of Wands, we have the Moon and the Judgment card. With the Star energy, we have the Hierophant and the 4 of Wands. Wow. And with the 5 of Cups, we have the 7 of Swords and the King of Wands. I want one more there. The Empress. Okay. So this, again, like we've already been saying, I do feel like this is a relationship from the past. And part of this kind of reconnection, healing conversations that's going on here could be dealing, again, with a Scorpio or a Cancer, Pisces here. Strong water in this reading. I feel like part of the issue that has really been surrounding all sides of this dynamic, especially since we got the 10 of Swords and I was talking about that betrayal kind of energy, there's been a question on both sides, I feel, of the betrayals that have happened. Or maybe the betrayals didn't happen, but there was suspect, right? Like there was this underlying belief that something had happened, because we have the Moon here, and so that can be stuff that's hidden. That can be like deeply hidden subconscious fears, that kind of thing. And it feels like that's what's really caused some pain in this dynamic, is the unknown, the hidden, the possibility that you might have been betrayed by this person, or flip it and reverse it. Perhaps you both betrayed one another in some form or fashion, and that could be, that could be gossiping about one another, complaining about one another to other people. This could be any kind of betrayal, right? I kind of feel like both of you are coming to recognize that that is what was surrounding maybe the main underlying issue in the relationship, was fears of abandonment, fears of betrayal. And I do feel like a lot of deep emotions are kind of being dredged up. And like I said, it's like there are conversations happening here, healing conversations, mutual comforting. And I feel like at the root of everything, it definitely allows you a new perspective on what's gone on in this dynamic, right? We can kind of be grateful for the lessons, and we can lay down the burdens of the unknown, of the past mistakes that have happened, of the things I did wrong, things you did wrong, what have you. But at the root of this reading, we have the Four of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Star. Like, there is absolutely healing potential in this dynamic. This is a highly spiritual connection, one deeply rooted in both of your souls, I feel. This could definitely be a twin flame dynamic here as well. And it looks like, at the very least, on a spiritual level, there's healing happening here between the two of you because of these open-hearted conversations and this waltz that you're doing together. Now, in the following week, we have the edge of evolution feels messy, right? So there is growth happening here, but with growth, there is, it is messy. There are fears that come up, there's arguments, there's conversations that need to happen that haven't been had. There's a lot of, we kind of play this dance between following our heart and trying to do what makes the most sense as well. Like, what's practical, what's logical. It's this interesting dance between head and heart. And I feel like there's a lot of conversations happening here. So let's see what we get. With the Queen of Swords, we get the Ace of Wands. And the Three of Cups. So I do feel like someone here is clearly declaring that they want a reconciliation, that they want a new beginning here. With the Knight of Swords, we have the Ace of Swords. So there's a lot of truths being communicated. And the need to cut out and set boundaries when it comes to toxic behaviors, toxic habits. Like I said, we're dredging up and talking about fears here, things that have not been okay. With the Page of Swords, we get the Fool card and the Queen of Swords. So I do feel like there's a lot of communication happening here. I do feel like someone here is clearly standing in their, I want to say standing in their power. I feel like your person here is quite aware of the fact that there's a lot of baggage to unpack here. I feel like they are also wanting a new beginning. So we've got the Fool, the Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands. So there's a new cycle coming in here. And that makes sense because we had the Wheel of Fortune. So there's new opportunities being presented in order to take this dynamic in a new direction. And I think there's a lot of wisdom being shared here when it comes to, like, I know this is what I want. I clearly see that this is what I want. But I also am not going to allow the past betrayals or hidden garbage to continue forward. So it's like we deal with the past, but we're not going to keep playing out that same cycle. And it could be that this week that those conversations aren't completely comfortable, right? Because we're talking about things that are difficult here. And even though I feel like there's a lot of hope involved in this whole situation, there's a lot of, you know, baggage to unpack. We've had a lot of betrayals. We've had a lot of pain here, right? And those same habits can't continue if this is going to evolve to the next level. So, I mean, I feel really positive about this. It's this very feel-good, healing energy showing up here. So that's a really positive shift after these difficulties. And what's interesting here, it's kind of like the pain shows up in these four corners here. Everything else is very focused on the positive. So it's like there's more positive here than there is negative. And I also want to say too that it is coming in from all sides, but it feels to me like the foundation itself is solid, right? It's just that maybe the bricks that were laying the first time around were not quality bricks, right? If that makes sense. So hopefully that resonated with some of you. I hope that was helpful. And it looks to me like, at least for Leo, the Valentine's week will be a very healing and loving time. So that's nice. I will see you in the next one. Bye.